What happened? We tested everything and everything went well, and now we're not audio when we're live. But thanks for listening live. Can you hear me now? Can you all hear me now? Can you hear me now? You can still hear me, guys? Is it better? Okay, great. Oh my God, technology. You can plan, you can test, and then technology tries to mess everything up. But you can see me, you can hear me. Thank you guys for tuning in, and welcome to My Finance in Focus episode 2. We're celebrating our 5th anniversary of Finance Focus. Let us know in the comments how long you've been following Finance Focus. What are some of your best tips that you've learned from Finance Focus? What have you put in practice? We've been around for about 5 years now. It seems like a little time, but yes, Finance Focus has been on Facebook for 5 years. And we're just going to walk you through the journey, and then we're going to get straight into the questions. Don't forget to share the live. Head on over to YouTube. For those who don't have Facebook, they can also connect on the YouTube channel, Finance Focus Consultancy. And they can also send their questions there. We'll see it live and direct, and they can get answers as well. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Look out for a brand new episode of Financial Friday coming soon, but we'll get into that just now. So go ahead and share the live and send your questions in the chat as well so that you can get your answers live and direct this evening. Kim is saying that she's been with us since 2019. And thank you so much, Kim, for your support. Thanks for sharing the content. Thanks for your referrals. Really appreciate it. That's how we've grown. And this is a success story to many budding entrepreneurs. When I started Finance Focus, I started it because of my own challenges with money. And it started off as a hobby. I wanted to share my story, share my techniques with people just like me and you on how to manage money, how to pay debt, how to save, because we know this is something that a lot of us struggle with. Those who are married, those who are single, those with children, we all have financial goals, and we're going to be spending money until the day that we die. So we need to understand money. We need to have a relationship with money. Elodie is saying that she's been following us for about 3 years now. Thank you, Elodie. We appreciate your support. We're looking forward to having you back, Elodie. So I'm hoping to see you soon. So when I started Finance Focus in April of 2017, I did not expect the resounding support that I've received over the years. I'm grateful for that. And I can only tell you guys that in 5 more years, we're going to be massive. And it can only be done with your continued support, your likes, your shares, your subscribes. We went from having a hobby to sharing financial tips on Facebook. We then transitioned to Instagram. We then transitioned to YouTube, which would be our main feature, Financial Fridays, where we have over 30 videos of free financial tips, how to manage money. We've been featured on a number of programs on DBS, on Kyrie, on Loop Caribbean. Thank you, Kim, again for that opportunity. We've been speaking with a number of individuals, financial individuals in the market from Sagicor. We've spoken to Brenton on insurance. We've spoken to Stephen Lander on investing. We've touched base with a number of individuals who has added value to the content that we're bringing forward. And in our upcoming Financial Friday video, you're going to love it. It's all about branding with a new business in the market, and you're going to look out for that coming on the 29th of April in our new episode of Financial Friday. And guess what? In January of this year, we launched our website. Can you type the URL in the comments? What is the URL for our website? Can somebody type, share with others so that they can click the link and head over to the website? And on that website, you can take a money personality quiz. It was my favorite plug on the website because it helps other people to understand their relationship with money, to understand the issues and the challenges, and some ways that they can improve their relationship with money. And one of our added links on the website right now is a debt payoff calculator. So if you want to pay off your debt faster than if you want to pay off your debt quicker, you can go to myfinancefocus.com, click on the debt reduction calculator, and plug in the extra payments that you want to make to see how quickly you can pay off your debt. You can see the amount of interest that you're saving. It will tell you how long, how many more months, years that you have if you just put an extra to your debt. So head over to myfinancefocus.com and head to the debt reduction calculator. It's all the way at the bottom in the quick links so that you can access it and start paying off your debt. Welcome, Georgiana. Welcome, Brenton. It's really nice for you guys to be here. A lot of support is seen. I see Glenn is watching. Welcome, Glenn. Share this live with others so that they can ask their questions live about money management. They can find out more about Finance Focus. I want to hear from you all. What questions do you guys have for Finance Focus for me? So, from a business perspective, I want to share my journey. So I'm also gainfully employed. I'm working 9 to 5, and I have been building Finance Focus. I have been seeing individuals, giving financial coaching, working with a number of small businesses such as Free 65, Quick Delivery. We have the Happy Box Caribbean Flavor Quizzing. We have a number of clients. Be Natural. Shout out to all my clients. I would not be here without you guys. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the confidence you have in Finance Focus. You continue to receive excellent customer service and results, and we are grateful for you assisting Finance Focus to grow. So before we get into the questions, I want you guys to head over to the YouTube channel and post your favorite Financial Friday video in the comment. I want you to head over to Finance Focus on YouTube and post your favorite Financial Friday video in the comment, because there are a number of people who are new to Finance Focus and they want to know more about Finance Focus. They want to learn more tips. So it's up to you tonight to share that information with them. So I'm hoping to see some links in the chat from the YouTube channel as we continue. I'm just looking at the comments. Hi, Lee. Thanks for joining. Share this live so that we can get the message across. We got to get people financially focused this evening. So, over the week, we've been advertising this live and soliciting questions from individuals on what more information they would like as it relates to managing money and business. And we've selected a number of them that we're going to answer live. So let's take a look at the first question that was submitted to be answered live. Question: how do I stop needing things I don't want? I'm hoping the question is, how do I stop wanting things that I don't need? Well, how do you stop wanting things you don't need? Oh, guys, we are all prone to this. I cannot tell you, this happens to me a lot. But I have overcome it over the years, and I am guilty of wanting more. It is a natural human characteristic. Sometimes I find myself buying things to satisfy an emotion, whether happy, sad, or to fill a void. I too am influenced by marketing and also plain old social media. I buy them and then I would regret. But there's nothing wrong with wanting more. But what you don't want to do is do that at the expense of your mental health. So how can you control this feeling of wanting things that you don't need? Well, with Finance Focus, we're all about practical tips. So I'm going to share with you what I do to control my impulses, my cravings of wanting things that I don't need. First of all, I practice gratitude for the little things. I perform frequent introspection by looking around and seeing all the things that I used to yearn for that I now have. I think about my journey and my journey to acquire them, and I give thanks for where I was and to where I am right now. And it is important for us to be grateful. One of the foundations of being content with what you have, with understanding what you need. Secondly, I focus on myself. Over time, I've had to block out the world and just, put my head down and focus on my goals, my core values, which allowed me to figure out what I wanted in life rather than what I wanted to buy, right? I would also live with intention. As part of the introspection, I had to make a plan on what I wanted my impact to be in the world. When you are living intentionally, you are focused on doing great things. You know yourself. You know yourself, and you look for ways that people can get involved in your life. You focus on the impact that you can get and you can have on people. And of course, you figure out you're focused so much on the impact that you're making and less on acquiring things that you don't really need. And of course, I remind myself of what matters most. Guys, to pay off my debt, I had to acknowledge whether I wanted to be debt free or I wanted to buy material things. It's important to invest in yourself. So you need to ask yourself, is it really important to buy things to impress people who don't really matter? Or is it important to invest in myself? What matters more to you? What are some tips that you guys can share with each other in this chat when you want to prevent yourselves from wanting the things that you don't need? I've shared I've shared my practical tips with you guys, but what is your system? I know every day we battle these things. We like nice things, we want nice things, but we have to strike a balance as to, do I need this? Do I want this? How do you control your urges? I see Sven says discipline is very important. Sven, you are spot on with that. You are spot on with that. That is one of the toughest things that people tend to, fight with, battle with when it comes to managing money. We know what we're supposed to do, but we fight internally with that discipline because, we want to enjoy life. But like I said, what really matters to you? So, in some cases, you may be bad with money. Everyone's situation is not the same. Personal finance is personal. Some people may struggle with spending habits. Some people may be in genuine situations where they cannot afford the finer things in life and they're just surviving on their needs. So, in a case like that, what do you do? Well, there are always two sides to a coin. You have the income side and you have the expense side. When it comes to the expense side, you need to inquire from yourself, be honest with yourself. Is this a need or a want? Can it wait? Did I plan for this? What other substitutes or alternatives can I spend on to get the same level of gratification that I want? Is it really an investment or is it indulgence? So, whether you're trying to impress people or you have bad spending habits, the foundation of that question really is, do I have the discipline? Now, I want all of you in the comments here to ask yourself this one question: where would I like to be in 1 year? Where would I like to be in 1 year? If you keep going in the same direction that you're going right now, you're spending money, you're saving money, you're making investments, where do you see yourself in 1 year? The discipline is going to help you kick that habit. It's going to change your mindset. It's going to help you identify what really matters to you. Krishana says she prioritizes. Is it needs or wants? Georgiana says she deletes app. I delete apps as well. After Christmas, I removed all the apps on my phone so that I won't be tempted to just open my phone. When you get an email, a sale email, you just open the app on your phone. It's too convenient, right? You don't want that trigger, so you remove your triggers. Kim says she delays her gratification, she reduces her easy access to money. All of these are good tips, guys. Keep it up. We have a next question from the individuals who sent questions. How do I save as a single mother? And we have single parents, we have single mothers, we have single dads. I know, guys, there are a lot of people who may be challenged with saving money and raising their children as single parents, and they're eager to save or they're living on limited income. In a case like that, it's important to know that cents add up to dollars, dollars add up to hundreds, and hundreds add up to thousands. Now, If you don't have good financial habits, whether you're in a relationship or you're a single parent, you're always going to be living from paycheck to paycheck. So that means living within your means and changing your mindset to money. I know that single moms, single parents, they find it hard to save, but it's absolutely possible, even if your income is limited. And there are two particular tips that I would want to share with you guys that could assist single parents when it comes to saving money in particular. And even anybody can use those tips. Anybody can use those tips for themselves, for their families, because it's something that all of us can put into practice. And I know that some people in the comments have already put that practice in that tip into practice. So the first thing I would recommend is that you set up automated savings from your salary accounts to a separate saving account. So whether it's your rainy day account or your emergency fund, you set an automatic deduction from your salary to an account that you know that money is going to go there. It saves you that it gives you that convenience, as it doesn't require you to go to the bank or the credit union with that hard cash, and you risk spending it on other things. When I started my saving journey, that is what I did. I started by deducting. I allowed my employee to take out $50, as little as $50, because that's what I knew that I could save. And for those of you who may be tempted to withdraw, opt out of taking an ATM card for that account, or open an account that isn't in close proximity to your home, to your work. And over time, that $20, that $50, that $60, it adds up. And money says, if you save me, I will save you one day. So those little amounts add up, and they can help you in times of need. When it comes to saving money, a lot of people believe that you know they don't have hundreds of dollars to save because they believe that's what values are saving. But when it comes to saving money, focus on the habit and the consistency of putting money aside rather than consider these large amounts. You can start with 10, you can start with 20, you can go 50. And as you become more comfortable with your budget or your income increases, you can increase that amount. But by that time, you will be so keen on that habit of putting money aside, it's going to be easier for you. For those of you with children, in the comments, what are some tips that you can share with us that helps you save money? Let us know. We're all here to learn. I want to hear from you how you save money as a parent, whether you're a single parent or you're in a two income household. How do you save money with children? A second tip that I have for single parents, so any one of us here, is have a budget to buy new clothes. For those of you with children, you know when that growth spurt hits, there's nothing you can do but change the shoes, change the shirts. Sometimes the pants are short of a length or the shoes are too tight. Have a budget to buy new clothes as the seasons change, and stock up based on your child growth. Research says that a child goes through growth spurts every 6 months, 6 months at a time. So plan your budget in such a way that you can, refresh the wardrobe every 6 months, and try not to overspend. Get some clothes that are reasonable during sale time. And you usually find that during the seasons, there's always sale on clothes, whether it's online, locally. You can find these reasonable reasonable items if you have a budget to refresh your children's wardrobe over a particular time so that it doesn't just everything doesn't just come out on you when you need it, because we're making a way to save money. So one of the ways to save money is by budgeting. We have a plan for our money, when we're going to spend that money. We're controlling that money. I see we have Krishana. Krishana, how do you save money? I know that you have a son. Kim, how do you save money? Let the other parents in the comments know that they too can save money. Another question that we received, this one made me chuckle. This one made me chuckle. You always dress nice and look nice. How do you do it on a budget? Well, I am flattered, guys, that you think that I look nice. Well, let me tell you how I do it. I have a champagne lifestyle on a Kool-Aid budget. Yes, I have a champagne lifestyle on a Kool-Aid budget. I'm not sure. I'm not the only one. I like nice things, and I have to manage my money so I can afford nice things. I used to say before that I like the champagne life, but I have Kool-Aid pockets. A champagne life is really living a luxurious lifestyle, and you know that it can be an issue if you can't afford it. And that was one of the things that contributed to me going into debt. It can lead to paycheck living, or even indebtedness. So, how am I able to afford nice things and manage my money? Well, I put myself on a budget. I actually plan out my champagne lifestyle. Yes, I enjoy everything in moderation. There are some things you can afford if you build them into your budget and you're particular about your spending. My birthday's coming up, so I have been making provisions for that over time. Secondly, I would identify what you consider my champagne lifestyle costs. So, for some people, it could be spa treatments, travel, shopping for clothes, or electronics. What you can do is determine what your costs are based on what you like. When it comes to money, you need to know yourself. You need to acknowledge, this is who I am. This is the relationship that I have with money. These are the things that I like. You're not going to restrict yourself from enjoying life. You can plan things in advance. You can create sinking funds. Yes, Kim, sinking funds are various saving accounts for a purpose. So, for example, my birthday fund is my sinking fund. Another thing that I do, and I would advise you, is to avoid payment plans. I try to stay away from credit for material and luxurious things. I didn't used to do that before, but I learned my lesson. So now I'm staying away from that. If I can't afford to pay cash for material or luxurious things, I don't buy it. I don't think it's worth putting these things on high interest debt. Using debt to keep up with appearances, impulse spending, it can derail your finances in the long term. So avoid debt and the payment plans by building your likes, building your costs into your budget, and enjoy things in moderation. Brenton says he likes Amazon for that. You can spread purchases over 12 to 24 months depending on the cost with no interest. With no interest, you can do that from the region. Well, you'll have to show us how. because that's a great cost saving issue, but ensure that it does not have interest, because the items like luxury items, when you put that on debt, it's really defeating the purpose, because while you're enjoying the item, at the back of your mind you're like, oh my god, I have to pay for this. You may have finished enjoying the item and you're still paying it off. So be mindful of that. And Brenton, yes, Kim said give us the tea. So please give us the tea on how to do that. So y'all may see me with some beautiful dresses. Guess what? I shop on Shein. Yes, I shop on Shein. There is no shame in my game. There's nothing wrong with shopping on Shein. Shein is for budget shoppers. I look for discount buys. And the technique that I use to shop on Shein is that I shop on Sundays when there are more coupons and free shipping. I buy my shoes on Shoe Dazzle for less than $10 when they have seasonal sales. You know, you can get branded clothes on sale. Now, there's no shame in your game, because no one is going to know whether it was bought cheaper at a cheaper price. But at least you know you saved money, right? So, guys, look for discount buys in order to enjoy nice things. Another thing that I do is I use coupon sites. So, in addition to shopping on discounts, I use the Honey app. And for those of you who've been following me, you've heard me say that more than once. The Honey app is a browser extension which actually shows you the trend in prices on retail sites. It helps you to truly determine if the items are truly discounted. So, in addition to budgeting amounts to spend, I save additional, which allows me to get more items. So you can download the Honey app on your phone, you can download it on your browser. My personal experience with the Honey app for Christmas, I had it on my browser, and I was canvassing Amazon, and you would not be amazed to know that there were some items that they actually jacked up in price but then said it was on a sale. But the Honey app actually showed me that the trend in the price went up. So it really wasn't a sale. Yes, Kim, honey, as in honey from bees, the Honey app. And one more point on how I enjoy my money and budget at the same time. Um, I recreate my favorite champagne lifestyle experiences at home. So I love creating restaurant meals and settings at home. You know, the garlic shrimp, the quinoa salad, the pizza and wine nights. You know, as you rightly guessed, I love lavish food. So you can partner with friends and family to recreate spa treatments. You know, have the ambience of a club and have fun, all on a budget. We all can do these things, guys. You can be very creative in how you use your money. What are some other tips that you guys can give us in the comments? What are some tips that you guys can give us in the comments? And while I have you guys here, before we continue with the rest of the questions, I want all of you to go to myfinancefocus.com, myfinancefocus.com, and subscribe to the newsletter, the direct deposit, so that you can get exclusive exclusive tips on how to manage money and business. Just this week, I shared an article about my own journey as a financial coach. I make mistakes too. So head on over to find out some of the mistakes that I've made so you don't have to make them as well. Head on over to myfinancefocus.com and scroll all the way down, enter your name and your email address so that you can get those tips directly in your inbox as frequent as you'd like. Brenton says he uses points. Yeah, we're discounting, we're discounting. Kim says she mixes and match a lot. Kim, I feel you. Yeah, just change your lipstick, different clothes, different eyeshadow, different shoes, new outfit. She says that Kim says she buys pieces that can be worn with several different pieces. Very good. Tracy, hi Tracy, thanks for joining us. Tracy says, don't save your debit or credit card on retail sites. It can deter you from buying things you don't really need. No, Trace, I tried that, but I ended up memorizing my card. I ended up memorizing my card number, so I had to put additional measures in place so that I could control my impulse spending. Like Georgiana said, deleting the apps because it gets real, you know. And as women, for the women in the chat, as women, you know, we know what retail therapy is. You know, we shop, we spend money when we're happy, when we're sad, when we're dealing with a void. So we have to be careful with impulse spending as women in particular. But guys, that tip is for you as well. Be careful with your impulse spending. Let's get back to our questions. There is a question about paying debt. I have plenty debt. Should I consolidate? So when it comes to personal finance, and you've heard me say it more than once, personal finance is personal. So we cannot just say, yes, go ahead and consolidate your debt. There are a number of steps that you have to take to determine whether debt consolidation is right for you. Because sometimes heading into debt consolidation can actually put you in a worse position than you are right now. Because one thing I do is I don't recommend debt consolidation off the bat. You know, we look for other options before taking that consolidation stage. So one of the things that you can do is outline all your debt in order of their balances, outline the interest rates, outline the monthly amounts, and you can employ two methods before consolidating your debt just to see if it will work for you before approaching a bank. So there are two debt payment methods that you can employ. You can choose to employ. One is called the debt snowball method, and the other is called the debt avalanche method. With the debt snowball method, you would outline all your debts in order of the lowest balance, right? You start with your lowest balance debt to your highest balance debt. You continue to pay your debt as normal. You have that obligation to pay your monthly installments. However, any extra money that you get, you're putting that extra payment to the loan with the lowest balance. Because what it does, it helps you to knock off your smaller balances quicker. You know, who doesn't like a quick win? Who doesn't like to pay off debt quicker? So you can employ that method using your extra payments to pay your lowest balance debt. The second method is the debt avalanche method. This method is particularly recommended for individuals who have high interest debt. You would outline your debts again, continue paying them as needs be, but any extra money you would put that towards the debt with the highest interest rate. So that debt payment method is good for credit card debts, payday loans. What it does, it allows you to pay off the debt with the highest interest faster, allowing you to save money on the interest payments. Now, there's another method that I personally employ. It's paid off the debt that takes the largest cash flow from my salary. Just already put a debt in my pocket, so I'm trying to pay it off because it's taking a lot more from me. So you would try any of these free methods in the first instance before considering debt consolidation. Other people, they decide they're going straight for the consolidation, and that's fine. Personal finance is personal, whatever works for you. However, be mindful, if you're going into debt consolidation, that's just the purpose. You're going into debt consolidation to get you out of debt. Be mindful not to go that route and then you rack up more debt after you make that move. All right, guys? These are some questions that we received. I want to thank everyone so far for coming. Remember to go onto myfinancefocus.com, subscribe to the direct deposit, head on over to the YouTube channel and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Look out for Financial Fridays. And one of our last questions I see we have here. How do you deal with back-to-back emergencies? Ooh, child. I was a victim of that once. Who here in the comments has experienced emergencies back to back? Let us know. How did you feel when you experienced that emergency? Well, I can only share my story and hope that, it can be an inspiration to people. Sometimes they say life happens. You're trying to do everything on point. You're feeling confident. You have a handle on your money. And then an emergency happens. And you're not prepared for that. And then when you finally figure out how to deal with that emergency, another emergency happens. How do you deal with that? Well, in most cases, people turn to debt. Now, there's a misconception that debt is bad, right? We are going to be spending money till the day that we die. At some point in all of our lives, we will become, or we are, indebted. But when it comes to taking debt to satisfy emergencies, in the absence of a plan, in the absence of a budget, in the absence of insurance, and you will realize that these three things that I'm saying here are important in mitigating against emergencies. You need insurance, you need to have a budget, you need to have an emergency fund. One of the free, all of the free, depends on your financial situation. But in the absence of these things, you would most likely turn to debt. You would most likely turn to debt. In a situation like that, you procure the debt at the lowest interest that you can find. If it's available to you, you make a plan to pay off that debt as quickly as you can. Because what can happen is you can deal with that emergency and you continue paying that debt for the rest of your life. And then another emergency comes along and you don't have a backup plan, you have to refinance that debt. So, in the event of emergencies back to back and you have no other choice but to take debt, have a plan for that debt. Have a plan to pay off that debt. I see we have a question. What is the minimum amount one should hold on an emergency savings? Well, George, research says that your emergency savings should be a minimum of 6 months of your fixed expenses. But people have different values for the emergency funds because of their own personal finance situation, of their own position. What you can do is take a look at your lifestyle, take a look at your expenses. Think of the possible emergency that you may encounter based on your lifestyle and plan around that. In my case, when I started my emergency fund, I gave myself a goal. So you can start by giving yourself a goal for your saving plan. I started with $1,000. I said, at least I need an emergency fund of $1,000. For individuals who find it difficult to save that much, you can have an emergency fund of $500. It's better than having $0 to save you in times of an emergency. Brenton says in Obama's 2009 State of the Union address, he mentioned that the highest reason for bankruptcies in the United States was due to medical emergencies. So, you know what that says. If you can afford insurance, get it. And you won't know if you can afford insurance if you don't speak to a financial advisor at your your favorite insurer. Are there any questions, guys, from the comments? Any questions on business? Any questions on managing money? For those of you who've been following Finance Focus over the years, share one tip in the comments that has helped you manage money. In your years of following Finance Focus, what is one tip that has helped you manage money? I've heard from a number of people that they've started saving, they've started budgeting, they've used the debt snowball payment method and paid down debt. They've looked at our mortgage series video before approaching the bank for a mortgage loan. For those who are interested in learning about investment, our investment series would have helped individuals who are not familiar with the term investing and how they could invest from the Caribbean. So, as we wrap up, I just want to share with you guys our plans for the month. We are celebrating 5 years this month. This is our first activity. Next week, Wednesday, will be the anniversary day, April 20th, and we will be showcased and featured on the digital transformation series, where you will get a walkthrough of our website, and we will be available to answer questions live next week, Wednesday, while we walk through myfinancefocus.com. And in a surprise release, we will be unveiling a mural at the Convent High School on Monday, the 25th. It's one of my first projects of giving back to my alma mater, the Convent High School. So look out for that. It will be live on Emo News next Monday, the 25th. I see we have some comments. Kim says that Finance Focus has certainly made her more aware by doing better financial management. Tracy says she's used the snowball method and invested in life insurance. Pamina says she has adopted the money saving plan. I'm so grateful for you guys' support. I'm happy that you're getting value from the content of Finance Focus. It is motivating. And be sure to look out for the new episode of Finance Focus Financial Fridays next Friday, on the Friday the 29th. We will be walking you guys through the journey of branding Finance Focus on a budget. So if you know a business entrepreneur, small business owner, have them take a look at Financial Fridays, because they're going to learn how to grow their business, how Finance Focus grew its brand on a budget. We're all about saving here. We're all about saving here, guys. Managing money, managing business. I want to thank all of you who tuned in, who engaged, who joined us for our live question and answer on this 5th anniversary episode 2 of My Finance in Focus. Stay tuned for lots more from Finance Focus. Send your friends to the page to like and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook at Finance Focus, on Instagram. We're on TikTok, we're on Twitter, and we're on YouTube. And we're looking forward to your support for another 5 years. Thank you guys so much for joining, and I will see you all on the next episode of My Finance in Focus next month. We may just have a surprise guest for you. Have a good night, guys, and continue to celebrate with us for our 5th anniversary. Good night.